on getting us live. We can get this rolling. Let me know when we're good to go. It says we're on Facebook. Good. All right. Call the Board of Aldermen work session to order. We have a short agenda today. And Chuck, I think you're the one who's going to start this off, and then you'll hand it over, right? All right. So we'll kick it off.
Answer questions. Well, good evening, Mayor and Board. Chuck Souls, Public Works Director for the City of Smithville. I'll introduce now Tom Kaufman. He's with GFL WCA. He's attending as well. If you remember back in February, we discussed that the current contract with WCA would expire in March in 2022. And that per the agreement, the city would have to provide 6 months notice prior to any expiration or change of service. We presented to the board, basically, we outlined what the current contract is and levels of service. And we asked the board if they wanted us to talk to GFL, WCA about extending the contract, or if they wanted us to look for other proposals. We wanted to do this far enough in advance so that if the decision is to go out for proposals, then we can still provide the appropriate 6 months notice to do that. So we sat down with Tom Kaufman with WCA GFL, and we talked about some of the things that the board had expressed a desire about, including downtown recycling, some kind of rate reduction, e-waste events, stickers on the lid describing what is recyclable, and maybe disincentives for additional trash carts. And GFL WCA came back with a proposal that's included in your package this evening. I'll just briefly go over some of the highlights. It's a 5-year extension with an annual automatic renewal. It's going to start in November of 2021, which lines up better with our fiscal year. The first year, they did cut the rate. Currently, we pay $19.51. The proposed rate for the first year is $17.98, and they've also added a 10% senior discount. The way that would work is we'd probably ask people to apply. We'd ask for proof of their age, probably through a driver's license. This isn't intended for somebody who has, their kids and their grandkids all living with them. The idea is seniors are typically single or maybe a spouse, and they just don't generate the trash that a normal household would, or a single family would. So you give them a little bit of a price break. So that was nice. Does allow for annual increases as our current contract based on the consumer price index, and we'd maintain all the levels of service we currently do: the trash pickup, the recycling, and the yard waste. I like this idea. GFL was going to provide trash overage stickers. It's additional charge, but instead of getting a second cart and having it all year, like at Christmas time, if you just thought you might have an extra bag or two, you buy these stickers, you put them on those bags, and then they'd pick those up as well as your cart. So, during times when you may have excessive trash, you don't have to just have a second cart and pay the additional $10. You could pay whatever those stickers amounted to. To incentivize recycling, the monthly price for the extra trash cart would be increased to $10. Still twice a year bulky item collection. They've proposed to establish a downtown cardboard recycling program, which would probably amount to, and Tom can jump in anytime if I say something wrong, probably amount to a cardboard recycling bin placed downtown. We even talked about maybe putting one out at Price Chopper. It would be for cardboard only, and see how that went. GFL's offered to sponsor a paper shredding and e-waste event. There's some charges for some items when you do e-waste, like bigger TVs and stuff like that, but they'll coordinate and sponsor that. They're actually going to provide us with 2 reports, mid-year and end-of-year report. and apply the decals to the recycling carts, trying to educate consumers about what's recyclable and what's not. Staff did survey some other communities, and we put that in your packet. You can compare the various services that other communities are getting. I would say the contract with GFL, WCA, we're kind of in the middle. We're not the cheapest. We're not the most expensive, but we do get a lot of services with that. So if you compare the services as well, the proposal looks pretty good to me, but that's up to the board to decide. So I guess our questions here tonight are to ask the board, seek direction. Do you want us to continue with negotiations and bring back a contract to the board for continuation of the service with GFL WCA? Or would you like us to do another option or solicit proposals? We can answer questions. I didn't know. I'll let the mayor decide how you want to run it. If you want, see if there's any comments from WCA, or answer questions.
Yeah, so I'll kick it off. I appreciate everything that's in this proposal. It's a lot of things we've asked for, and I know you guys will work out the details on frequency and locations and stuff. When it comes to cardboard, I know that there's Price Chopper already has some of their own stuff to take care of them, and Porter's has been taking some of the cardboard. I know I brought a few things there, but on the farther south, like around Aroma Bistro, and then like you said, downtown, those are pretty heavy users. I know Motorcycle Closeouts and that the shops there, they use the Hunt's Auto Care. They use a lot of cardboard, and it's probably ending up in the dumpster. So. Yeah, appreciate it. It's awesome. I'll kick it off to anybody on the board that wants to go next. I know Alderman Wilson, you were here when we did this the first go around. I think Steve, you might have been part of the committee or had some input, but Melissa, if you want to go first, you can.
Sure, I will. So I think, Chuck, you kind of covered it as far as the definition of the city approved seniors. When I was reading through that, I thought, okay, what's that definition going to be? So I guess city staff would move forwards with what that definition would definitely be. So that would be in print for anybody to see if they questioned it. Would that be a true statement?
Yeah, typically, like here in Lawrence, it's 65 and older, and they bring in proof of their age, driver's license, and they make a request. We can make it online, and they can, send us a copy of their driver's license. So.
Okay. That consumer price index, I think when I seen that U on the end, but I guess it's just tied to the consumer price index of what it would increase. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then that crash overage, that sticker program, would we promote that as if people wanted to buy so many just to have on hand for whenever they would have an overreach? How would that work?
I believe so. Well, Cynthia has that service in Soto, and Tom could maybe expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, we do that in a lot of communities. Typically, in some areas, we work with retailers, or people can go to City Hall and buy them. Always, people can just call or email, and they can order with customer service by credit card, and we send them out. And I think the last I heard, it was $6 for a sheet of 5, and then you can just put them in your drawer and have them for episodic overages. Okay.
Then the last thing, and when I was looking at the chart comparing your current services to other communities and who their trash was provided by, I'm wondering, I like everything I see here, but I'm wondering if that 10% discount could be raised to like 25%. I'll be truthful, a 10% discount doesn't excite me that much. That's not quite $2. Is it possible that could be looked at and maybe go up to either 20 or 25%?
I think one of the concerns is we just don't know what the usage is going to be. It's one thing if it's 10 or 20 people, it's another if it's 2,000 or 3,000. I don't think it's going to be that much. So I think that's a concern.
Okay.
that WCA has. Maybe what we could do is roll it out the first year, and then we could even have this in the contract that we would revisit it in good faith, between the city and GFL in the second year after we see what that usage is going to be.
Because I was looking at one of them that's on the chart. They both use the same service. One, they have a $4 reduction. Population's about the same as ours. The other is a 50% reduction, but they have a lot more population. So I'm sure their senior population doesn't make up that big a percent. So that's what I was kind of looking at instead of 10%. But so I guess if we can improve that down the road, that would be great. And that's all I have. As far as any questions, in doing the comparison, I think with what they've come to us with the extras that we'd asked for and have done that, I'm okay if we don't go back out for bid myself, but I'll leave that up to the majority. So I am through with my portion. Thank you.
All right, so I'll just go around the Brady Bunch squares here, and Alderman Sarver, you're next.
I've been really happy with WCA, and it sounds like this proposal gives us about everything we wanted. So I'm okay with coming back with a contract on that.
Thanks. Alderman Atkins.
Well, I agree. I had no issue with WCA. I had no problems at all. I never heard anything issues with them either. So I like it.
Thank you. Alderman Uladall.
Everything I read looked good. Thanks for going into some detail and working hard on that for us.
And Dan, you use quite a bit of cardboard, right? Yeah.
Quite a bit. Yeah, we don't have any room in our alley for a dumpster, but I'd love to have one close, maybe closer to City Hall or something, that I can send it over there every evening when we're done.
Yeah, and the busier you are, the more cardboard you have, right? So summer, all those times you get.
It takes up a lot of space. I mean, I just ordered my truck today had 70 cartons on it, 70 something packages, which pretty much all of them come in cardboard.
Gotcha. And then, yeah, I talked to Alicia and a couple others that are pretty, get a lot of boxes. I know I get a ton too. So yeah, somewhere near City Hall. That's what Cynthia and I talked about earlier today too. Somewhere it can be monitored. When it was over in that old other lot, we got a lot of dumping, but we'll keep an eye on it.
Mm-hmm.
Something with easy access that vehicles could get to, because it's going to have to be carted in several blocks for a lot of people. So whatever is easiest access and can be monitored.
Cool. Alderman Blumker.
No, I appreciate what I heard, and we have had good service and they've been responsive, so I support moving forward.
Cool. Anybody else? Staff? Any?
I don't have anything. I didn't know. Tom, did you have any comments?
I just wanted to say how much we like working with Smithville. It's a great community. It's a good fit for us. And I've really enjoyed working through this process with staff. And I'm excited that you guys want to continue moving forward. This is great news for me and good for the company. So thank you.
Yeah, and the waste diversion pieces of it, adding in the e-waste and shredded events. I know our chamber does some shredded, but she's told me the guy doesn't have the capacity. And adding that to our household hazardous waste that we're doing through Mark, I think it helps. Every bit helps. So
I think we've got our direction. We will contact WCA and we'll continue the negotiation, and we'll look for maybe reviewing that senior discount after the first year or two, and seeing what we can do on that. But we appreciate.
You can also look at our demographic data to see what our senior households look like, because some of our seniors are in some of the housing authority type places and
right.
Senior housing where they're not using WCA, they're using the dumpsters that those facilities provide. So the actual households, like the Wilsons and the Sarbers, that might be eligible for that type of thing, I don't think they're generating 3 bins worth of trash like some of the other ones.
Right.
So,
Okay. Well, we will bring that forward sometime late spring, early summer.
okay. Anything else? I'd love to jump to our next meeting, but with the public hearings and all the other things we have, we're gonna have to wait till 7. So we're gonna have to take a little bit of a break. It's the same Zoom, so if you want to hang out, you can hang out. But we got about 17 minutes until then, and I know some of the Main Street folks want to join. I know, Linda, we still have a couple from the other rezonings and stuff too that are going to join. So yeah, we need to wait till 7. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn on the work session.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you. All those in favor of adjourning say aye.
Aye.
Bye.
All opposed say no. See you again in 16 minutes or so. Thank you.
Thank you.